Hi everyone, welcome to another picture from this lovely page from Hanna Karlzon Seasons. Today we have a little jar of fall fog to colour, which I think is delightful. I had thought that being as it's a sort of autumnal picture, maybe we should use autumn colours, but actually we have got a few items here that aren't, so I think we'll just go for what might naturally come in my head as an idea for what fall fog might look like. I'm not really sure, to be honest, yet, so I'm going to start with the cork. So I'm going to start with something that isn't the fog and go from there. So I'm going to start with my burnt ochre on my Arteza Expert Pencils and just do a light layer on the cork. I think we don't really have the right colour in this set of pencils, so I'm going to do a mixture of a few. So I'm just going to put a light layer here. We would see the cork through here as well, like that. Now I'm going to make it a little bit darker on the edge here and on this edge. Reflect that slightly through. I want the bit that's through here to be faded because we're looking through the glass. We're also looking through the glass here, but this bit is really thick glass compared to this bit. So this bit perhaps could be a bit faded compared to this. Let's make this just a bit darker. But this bit really faded. That's my plan. I'm going to grab my next colour. I'm going to use the Camel brown to finish off my cork. So let's start with the top. It's a bit easier, I think. So on the very top, I'm going to do but each side a little bit darker and slightly lighter in the middle. I think it might be lighter there. It's quite tricky because cork isn't shiny and we're not going to have any sort of shine. But if we do it a little bit darker on the edges like this one, it will look like excuse me, like it's more rounded. So that's why I'm doing it this way. I'm going quite hard with my colour here because I want it to look quite pale here. As lightly as I can here, just a light amount, just showing through. And then down here, a little bit darker than the bit above, but not as dark as this bit. So it's a fine balance. I'm just going to erase where I went out of the line there. There we go. It's not perfect, but it's better. There we go. Now, the lines here that I drew in don't actually line up, and I think that's quite good because it was an pure accident, but now it looks like we've got a bit of distortion from the glass, which is what would happen. Whether it would be distorted to be fatter or thinner, I've got no idea, but it's there now, so I'm happy. Happy accident. Now the glass itself I'm going to do in a cloudy grey. I really want a cold grey, and this is. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do this bit in here first, and I think it might be quite dark down in there and lighter as we go up. Now I realise this is glass, so glass is obviously see-through, but to make it look shaped, just put a bit of grey on. I'm going to put a tiny bit right across all of it because we're looking through. Hopefully that works. And here, a bit on the edge. Now, I'm going to put that to the side for a minute because we need to sort of think about what's going on inside. I've been procrastinating. I'm thinking, well, fog, this is obviously what the colour we're using is quite a foggy colour. I'm thinking maybe to sort of differentiate between the glass and the fog, maybe we could do the fog in blue. I'm not sure. I think I know. No, I'm going to continue with my glass in this colour using the same technique. So I'm going to do all of the glass and then I'm going to think about how the fog's going to look, I think, until I've sort of done it all. So I'm going to do it all in the same way with doing it a little bit darker on the edge and the bottom here, and then lighter towards the middle to make it look shiny. Now don't be afraid of putting quite a lot of grey down, because you can go over it with some white pen to make it look more see-through and shiny. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave a lighter bit in the middle, but I'm also want to see where these lines are. I'd quite like to go over those in white, but in order for my white to show up, I'm going to have to put down a fairly, that's fog, hefty bit of grey. So just get some basic down, and then down this edge, I'm going to really put down quite a heavy layer. I do want to fade it a bit here. I'm just tidying it all up as I go, really. This is the key with colouring, is you can keep going over and over if you're using pencil. So if you make a mess, don't just leave it, you can tidy it up. So sometimes I don't, you know, just leave it because I'm not in the mood for layering. But if I want to make my page look really nice, that's what I do. Okay, I've gone over here, just going to erase that. So now I'm thinking we've got dots, like they looked quite magical, and we've got these sort of swathes of fog. I'm still thinking purple, blue. It's quite magical, isn't it? I'm thinking I quite like the idea of doing some purple and blue. This one, the lavender, I'm going to use for the dots, I've decided. It looks quite, I think purple I always associate with quite a magical feeling. Whoops. So I think that might work. I know fog isn't purple, but it's just, you know, it's white, and we need to do something a bit more, you know, a little bit more exciting than just white, I think. Periwinkle blue is quite a grey blue, I think. It's the greyest blue I've got. I'm going to just use it here and then fade it. So it's not a really dark blue, but it's just there, ready. I find it interesting that the word fall is used, not autumn. So obviously the translation of this book, I don't know whether she used that in her original book or whether she has changed the wording for the English-speaking audience, because obviously her books don't come out in English to start with. I've got this as the English version. I quite like having foreign copies, really, with different languages in, like Rita Berman. But I don't know if you can get them or if they're as cheap. So it's quite fun. Alright, let's put that darker layer there. I'm just tidying up a little bit. I'm going to do the label and then think about a bit more work on the fog. I've just noticed that we've got a hole here in our label which we haven't coloured, so I'm using this as the cloud grey. Just fill that in a bit. Now I'm thinking if we match the colours up of the label to the fog, I think that's quite fun. The ribbon I thought maybe we could do in quite an intense dark colour. I've got rather a nice ultramarine blue that I thought might work. Now with ribbon or cord, I tend to try and make it look shiny, and if we make it darker at each end, not only will it give shine, but it will help to make the bottle look more rounded, hopefully, by sort of showing us that it's closer to us in the middle. On this one, we'll still make it darker at each end and a bit lighter in the middle. We're not leaving completely white, but just shiny, as if it's a bit satiny. But it wouldn't be, it doesn't look like ribbon, like satin, maybe like a leather cord or something like that. Now that sort of matches the actual fog. If we have a sort of purpley colour maybe for the label, I think that might be fun. What have we got? Maybe this one might look nice. This is called Lilac. It's quite a pinkish tone, I think. So we'll go over that with the Lilac. That's nice. I like that colour. It stands out quite a lot. I'm trying to do it fairly evenly because I don't really know where it might be darker, but we've got this line, so I'm just using it to make a darker bit each side of the line. It just makes it look a little bit more interesting. So there's that. Right, back to our fog. I'm thinking it might look nice if we slightly, where all these black lines are, if we slightly go over them in white. So I'm going to use my white. This is just my white Posca PC1MR. And I'm just going to go over every line of fog with white. We actually said we're going to do these lines on the bottle as well. Just try and make it look shiny, but I think it might just erase them. That's the problem with using a light colour. Now I'm thinking that I might add, see, I haven't added any glitter or anything on this page yet, or metallics. I think for the fog it might have been enhanced with some glitter, or maybe the little dots being glitter, but I'm not sure that I want to do that because I haven't got any other glitter on the page. I think it might look a little bit weird just having one item with glitter on. I sort of tend to glitter everywhere or nowhere. But you can see that this isn't fully erasing the black line. It's just there, you can still see it, which I want, because the colours are so pale you might not otherwise see it. But here this is actually erasing the black lines. I'm just going to put a few more white lines down the sides of the bottle to try and make it look a bit shiny. There we go. There is our fall fog. I think I'm going to leave it there. I think any more, see if I apply, I realise the white isn't particularly even on the fog, but if I put too much more on I might erase it, which I don't want to do. Because I want you to still see the swirly lines. So another, if you don't have a black pen and you want to dull down black lines, white pencil can do just as well. So I'll show you. So this is the white quartz, and what we'll do is we'll go up here, go over this line a bit. Can you see how that has just knocked that back a bit? It's still there and it's slightly faded. We can do it on all of the black lines, and it just, it's not the same as having a white pencil by any stretch, but it does help. I think I'm going to do it all the way around the edge. And really I can't see that much difference between doing that and doing the pen on that bit. But it's not going to write on top of other pencil massively effectively. But I think it just dulls it back, makes it look a bit more glassy. So there, oops, and you can just layer it up a bit. Now colouring on top of it, I'm not sure, I would leave it till last. Okay. Because once you're burnishing, because I'm really burnishing it down quite hard, it meant leave no room for any other colour. And if I try and colour on top of something, it might not show up. I'll just try it. Well, it does a little bit, but it sort of blends it really, so you have to be careful. But a little tip for you anyway. But there we go. I'm going to leave that now, because if I keep fiddling with it, I'm going to spoil it. So there is our fall fog. We've got one left, only one left. I've been enjoying this page so much and sharing it with you. But we have one left for tomorrow, or the next time I do a video. It may not be tomorrow, I'm not sure, but there will be a video tomorrow. So please don't forget to subscribe, helps the channel. You can opt for no notifications, so all you do is just show your support for my channel, and then that's it. You won't be bothered by anything. or you can opt for all notifications, so every time a video comes out you get one, or you can opt for custom notification. I think you get, I can't remember, but anyway, so there are different options for you anyway, so please consider doing that. But for now, thank you for watching and happy colouring.